Hey everyone, Mad Hatter here, and we're back with another video. This is going to be an Ascension guide, which Ascension characters are good, what they're good for, and when you should invest into them, and in what order should you actually invest into them. Now, I just want to say, if you do enjoy content like this, make sure to subscribe, like, it costs you nothing, help support the channel, and next time I upload a guide, you'll actually get to that guide first, and you'll stop yourself from making that mistake, because I've had so many of you guys, put in the comments by saying like, oh man, this video came out too late. I just missed it. I just made that mistake. If you're subscribed, that won't happen, right? Especially if you turn on the notifications, you're gonna get that information ASAP Rocky. So yeah, just subscribe and you'll get everything you need as fast as you can. Now let's begin. Ascended Karina, Ascended Craig, and Ascended Elvira are the three rare heroes that can be ascended. Their base forms are just Karina, Craig, and Elvira. Elvira is what we're going to be covering first. She just uses a gun. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth because some of these are very obvious. Elvira, just don't go for her first. She's a lot worse than the other two, and she's worse than the best option, actually, much worse. She's not bad. She's pretty good in, mid to end game contents, especially. She does good damage, but that's really all her kit is. It's just nice damage, especially because of her special ability, right? Lower level enemies are just going to get absolutely hammered. So if they're not lower level, you're going to be doing less damage comparatively, but that's all she is. She's just a DPS machine and not really too crazy of one, considering stuff like Andros exists in the game, Claude, they all exist. She's not a great early to mid game investment option. You can use her for end game fire raids and stuff and other stuff. However, regardless, that's where she falls off, right? Nothing crazy. Next up is Karina. Ascended Karina is phenomenal, okay? Her chain skill is nice, it's nice heal, and her special ability gives you a get out of jail free card, which is actually really useful for story because, a lot of the times it's going to be your backline that dies, not your tank, because they'll just face tank mages and stuff. So you can't really help them and stop them from doing that, so they're probably going to die there. Karina's passive helps stop that so much. You do need her EX though. Karina without her EX performs really like a lot worse, as her healing comes from her damage, and a Ascended Karina EX damage is so much higher than a non-EX. So do keep that in mind. She's also the only character in the game that can use her weapon skill while being off lead. And this is where I'm going to say it. If you go for Mono Dark, Karina is a phenomenal option. However, as with every rare hero, do not ascend them until you have at least 2 unique heroes limit broken. This way you can fully unlock the training room and can conveniently use it for any unique hero that you build in the future or plan to build, as you'll get use out of them really comfortably. She's great. She scales into all contents really well, even in DPS content like boss rush and raid. Of course, she isn't, the best option for raids, but when you're in the mid game, she's a great option because you won't have everything, so you're gonna have to use what you have. And Karina is phenomenal at that because she's pretty much useful in everything. Whether it's, content where you need a healer, she's great. Whether it's content you need a DPS, she's even really good in boss rush, because when you start stacking trials, you're going to start to take some serious damage, and Karina healing is ridiculous for that. As her healing scales with damage within a Mono Dark team, she'll start doing more damage, which means she'll be healing more. It means your team will be taking less hits, you'll be dying less, you'll be doing more damage, right? It's a crazy loop. Phenomenal character. And then we have Craig. Craig is a tank, right? He is super tanky. That's literally his entire kit. He has a taunt. His DPS isn't anything fancy. You don't need his EX. Like with every tank character, you don't need their EX. The only tank's EX that you technically need is Future Princesses, and that's if you're going to want to run her lead. But if she's not your lead character, you don't need EX for any tank. And his special ability is really damn powerful. Takes damage from party members with HP lower than 50% when Craig's HP is higher than 30%. That's ridiculous, okay? Because when your job as a tank is to prevent your team from dying. Not only is Craig taunting and being absurdly tanky himself, but he's also soaking up damage for the rest of his team. This means your team has so much more survivability, especially if you have, a decent healer on the party. You're just going to be tanking everything that's thrown at you while dishing out really good damage, especially if you have a stable healer. Now, yes, you can check out my item guides on how to properly build all of them. Just don't go for Elvira. She's not a great option early on. And once again, like I have said before, do not, I repeat, do not ascend any rare hero until you have at least 2 unique heroes max limit broken. Craig is a phenomenal option. He works on literally any team. He's a tank. He works on any team, whether it's ranged, melee, dark, or light, whatever. He works on any and every team, and he's just the best in slot. Pure tank for every team. If you want survivability from a tank and an actual tanky tank, Craig is your go-to man, okay? He is what you go for, and you get more than what you want. Phenomenal character, easily the best character to ascend. I mean, come on. Even without being ascended, he's a pretty solid tank, especially considering the fact that you can get him for free and very easily at that. Go for Craig, okay? You can use him on any team. Karina is more so popping off in mono dark teams. However, she works relatively okay in a generic range teams, but you're not going to get the best out of her. She works really, really damn well paired with Claude. Karina and Claude is a nasty, nasty combo. You're going to be doing too much damage, and you're going to be healing too much, okay? So if you're new and you have some form of combo like that, it's great, but don't run Karina outside of a dark-based team, okay? You don't have to be mono dark. Mono teams for story aren't generally that great, so don't worry about that. Just run Karina with at least one other ranged dark hero, and you'll be good. Craig, run him on any team. You need a tank, you need Craig. You need a tank, you need a Craig. You need Craig. Without Craig, you are useless, okay? If you don't have Craig, why are you playing the game? Right. Anyways, yeah, Craig is easily the best. Elvira is easily the worst. Karina is just a really good option. I mean, come on. Once again, don't ascend any rare hero until you have at least 2 unique heroes fully limit broken. And that's it for the video. If you do find this helpful, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. And I hope you all enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next one.